It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds, and welcome to the dictionary. My name is Spencer, and this is episode F41. F41. One who won the race. It's F41. Oh, I'm a little tired this morning. Last night I went to see an indie Chicago film called The Premiere, and it was shot in the Music Box, largely in the Music Box, and I saw it in the Music Box, and that was very cool, and it's a very fun and silly movie, and also heartfelt, all about getting movies made, and so, I felt so connected to it, and related to it, and if you ever get the chance to see it, especially at the Music Box, you gotta take that chance and grab it by the horns and have a good time. Let's see. Anything else to say? That's why I'm tired. I got home late. Didn't get a lot of sleep. The first word in this episode is fatshedera. Fatshedera or fatshedera. I guess either one of those is fine. This is one word, Fatshedera. Fatshedera. I don't think I'm familiar with this. It is a noun from 1948, an ornamental foliage plant with lobed, glossy palmate leaves that is a hybrid between plants of two different genera of the ginseng family. So there's the ginseng family, and then I guess that gets split up into a certain amount of genera, and two of those plants and two of those different genera have combined to make this fatshedera. The species name is, it starts with an X. I don't know why, but the rest of it is Fatshedera lizzi or lizzi. So it's a foliage plant. So what does that mean? Is it viney? What's the point? It's just for ornaments. You can't, it's not practical in any way. It's just to make things look pretty. It's ornamental. The name is from the New Latin fatsia, which is the genus of shrubs, plus hedera, which is the genus of vines. Oh, so maybe those are the two genera, the two genuses where this thing came from, the vines and the shrubs. So one species from each of those got together, had a little fun, made a baby named fatshedera. Fatsia and hedera. It's a little on the nose. Okay. That's it. That's it for that one. My sound effect today, should I just do a yawn? Next is fatso. Fatso. Noun from 1944. And it does say often disparaging. I was hoping that it would say something like this, because it is usually. That's how people usually use it. It just means a fat person. That's what it is. Not a nice thing to say. Most of the time when this is being used, the person is being kind of mean, kind of nasty about calling somebody fat. And I think that there are probably people who take this word as a badge of honor, just like a lot of other words are taken as a badge of honor by certain groups of people. Maybe there are people who take this one. I don't know. But just assume not to use it. Okay, it's easy. It's not hard. This is probably from, why even is there etymology? Probably from fats with a capital F, which was the nickname for a fat person. I get, okay, hey fats, you're fat, you're fats, and then they just added the O, fatso, maybe fatto, sounded a little weird. I don't know. I think tiny is also a nickname sometimes for larger people. So tiny-o. Fanstock. No, fat. I don't know why I said an N sound. Fatstock. Noun from the 1812. This is chiefly British, and it is livestock that is fat and ready for market. Your cows, maybe, what was the one that we had in the last one? The fatling, right? The fatling was a young animal who has been fattened up for slaughter. Yeah, so they would be considered fat stock because they're livestock that's fat. I imagine cows and pigs and turkeys and chickens, probably. Nothing that makes me happy. Fat-tailed sheep. 3 words, fat-tailed has a hyphen. Noun from 1842. A coarse-wooled mutton sheep that has great qualities of fat on each side of the tailbones. The fat has, great quantities. Some of those letters, because they're so small and my eyes are getting worse, some of those letters look like different letters. Great quantities of fat. So basically, what you're saying is this fat-tailed sheep has got some junk in the trunk, an ass that just won't quit. A lot of fat on either side of the tailbones. Yep, it's a mutton sheep. I want to see now a picture of a sheep with mutton chops, with those big old sideburns. That's what I want to see. Where are we? Fatten. Fatten. Verb from circa 1552. Number 1A. To make fat, fleshy, or plump. Especially to feed for slaughter. And the example of what is being fed is a stock animal, that livestock. I don't know why stock. Why do we use the word stock there for these animals? Yep, that's the key part. Making it fat, fleshy, or plump for slaughter. Because why even talk about this? 1B, to make more substantial. We are not necessarily talking about a person, an animal, or whatever. We're just fattening it up. Maybe we got a document. Maybe the FBI has a document on somebody, and then that person starts to do a whole bunch of shady things, and so then the FBI is fattening up this person's file. Well, they're kind of fattening up for the FBI. Their file is getting fat. Fatten it up. Number 2. To make fertile. So maybe this is the soil. Fatten the soil with things that make it fertile. Things that make you fertile. Nutrients. Things like that would maybe make it fertile. Or are we talking about an animal? Can you make an animal fertile? I'm not so sure about it. You sure can make it infertile. Intransitive is to become fat. That's it. Weird Al, at the beginning of his song Fat, at the beginning of the music video for his song Fat, parody of Michael Jackson's Bad, he fattens up very quickly. In camera, you see him go, you see little bits and pieces, his hands, his face. It's a very silly and amazing prosthetic effect that happens. It's such a fun one. It's so silly. Okay, next is the fattener. Fattener, that is a noun. The one who is making things fat is the fattener. If I were to eat, I had some popcorn last night. I was sort of fattening myself up. I was the fattener of myself. Any additional etymology? Nope, so we gotta go. Fattish. Adjective from the 14th century, just somewhat fat. Fat-ish, just kind of little fat. My belly is getting a little fattish. Fat Tuesday, 2 words, capital letters at the beginning. Noun from 1866. The synonym is the number 1A definition for Mardi Gras, the fun place to party. I have sort of just like gradually learned a little bit of information about this. It has to do with Lent. I think Lent starts on that Wednesday, which I think is Ash Wednesday, right? Where people get the ash cross on their forehead. But the day before that, right before Lent, it's Fat Tuesday because they're like, we are cutting down on our food. We're making some changes for the next 40 days. We are going to indulge in the thing, lots of things, but maybe specifically the thing that we are cutting out for the next 40 days. We are going to indulge in it so hard. We are going to party. We are going to eat lots of food, meats, drinking, all the things. We're going to get so fat on this Tuesday. And then for the next 40 days, we're not going to have the thing and we're going to be very sad. And is it going to help us in some way to cut out this thing for 40 days? I don't know. I have never done this. I don't plan to ever do this. I have no reason to because I am not a religious person. But it's a thing that a lot of people do, and I think it's really just an excuse to partay. Fat Tuesday. Partay on Fat Tuesday. Carnival. Is that the same thing? The etymology for carnival was fascinating. Go back and listen to that episode. Fatty. First form adjective from the 14th century. Number 1, containing fat, especially in unusual amounts. It's so unusual how much fat there is on that thing. As in fatty foods. Oh, I really try not to eat the fatty foods, but I sure do. I can't help it. They're so good and junky and tasty. But also, we really should try to not eat so much fatty foods. Also, less processed foods. Also, less sugar. Also, less meat and less dairy. All those things. Also, unduly stout. Unduly? What does that mean here exactly? That thing is unduly stout. It can't be done. I don't know. The synonym, this is a good word, corpulent. So much more eloquent than fatty. Corpulent. Those foods are so corpulent. That avocado has the good fats. It's a corpulent avocado. Number 2 for fatty, the synonym is greasy. Yeah, because I think there's probably a lot of fats in the greases. But those greasy fries, greasy tater tots, greasy onion rings, greasy curly fries, all of those things that can be fried, hash browns, they're all so fatty and greasy. And I try to not eat them, but I do eat them. Number 3, derived from or chemically related to fat. Derived from fat? Chemically related to fat. I don't know what that is. Fattiness is a noun. Does anybody yawn like that? I sure don't. The second form of fatty is a noun from 1797. It's just one that is fat. Especially an overweight person. Did we need that especially? What was the point of that? I think it's assumed, right? Let's see. Fatso is a fat person from the 1900s, often disparaging. But this one, fatty, is a lot older. It's like 150 years older. But it does not say anything about often disparaging, and it feels like it should. Why wouldn't this word potentially be often disparaging? It seems silly to me. Fatty acid. Sorry you're getting a big view of my mouth today. That was not intentional. Just thought it would be funny to do a yawn, and I'm going to keep it going. Fatty acid, noun from 1838. Okay, we got 2 definitions. 1 is short, 2 is long. Number 1, any of numerous saturated aliphatic monocarboxylic acids. CnH2n plus a little 1 and then COOH. I haven't seen one of these in a while. Including many that occur naturally, usually in the form of esters in fats, waxes, and essential oils. An example is acetic acid, I guess. I have heard of these things, but I do not know enough about the chemistry world to be able to understand what this is. Saturated aliphatic monocarboxylic acids. Just remember that phrase, and you'll be fine. Number 2, any of the saturated or unsaturated monocarboxylic acids as palmitic acid, usually with an even number of carbon atoms that occur naturally in the form of glycerides in fats and fatty oils. Stuff has these things. Foods, waxes, essential oils, I guess. And then other stuff. I don't know. I don't know nothing about these monocarboxylic acids called fatty acid or acids. We got something else that's maybe possibly related. I don't know. Let's see. Fatty liver. 2 words. Noun from circa 1839. An abnormal condition of the liver marked by excess lipid accumulation in the hepatocytes and caused by injury, malnutrition, or toxins. Also, a liver affected with fatty liver. So if you got the fatty liver, your liver is a fatty liver. So it's abnormal. This is not how the liver is supposed to be acting or reacting to things. So if an injury, I don't know, if you get punched in the liver, will you possibly get this fatty liver? What other sort of injury could cause this? I don't know. Malnutrition, if you're eating crappy foods and not getting all the good stuff that you need, you might get this fatty liver. Your liver's like, what are you putting into me? These are not the things that this system should be consuming. Please change it. And if you don't change it, I'm going to fight back. I'm going to not work well. Then you're going to have some more problems. And who wants that? Please don't treat me badly. I am your liver. What else? Toxins. Oh, I don't know. Maybe too much alcohol. Certain other toxins could maybe cause fatty liver. That's possible. Yeah, it's too much lipids. The liver's got too much lipids. And I think lipids are related to fats somehow, so that's why it's fatty liver. Okay, very good. Next is fatuity, or fatuity, or fatuity, or fatuity. Noun from 1538, number 1A. Something foolish or stupid. Fatuity? That is something stupid or foolish? Foolish or stupid? I don't think I've ever heard of this. Fatuity. I'm trying to be more confident and less self-deprecating about this podcast, but is this podcast fatuity? Is it a fatuity podcast? It's a fatuity. I just like to say the word. 1B, synonyms are stupidity and foolishness. Oh, you got that fatuity coming out of your ears. Number 2 is archaic. The synonyms are imbecility, like an imbecile, imbecility, and also dementia. This is definitely a little bit different than the idea of stupid or foolish, I guess. This is, and it's older, so calling somebody an imbecile, it's like their brain isn't working or something. But yeah, a little bit more of an old school. Fatuity, though, what's the etymology say? I don't know. Let's read it. I'm so curious about this one. Let's see. From the Middle French, fatuité, which means foolishness. Also from the Latin, fatuous, but it doesn't say what that means. But maybe it has something to do with stupidity or foolishness. And this is the world that I like to live in. I don't get to live in the fatuity world as much as I would like to, but whenever I get a chance, I would definitely like to be fatuity. I don't know. It's a noun. So do you have fatuity? Yeah, something. Not. It's a weird word to use because I'm not used to it. Are you used to it? Do you know this word? I don't know this word. Hi. Next is fatuous or fatuous. This is an adjective from, there's no year? Oh, there it is, 1633. My eyes don't find things. This is complacently or inanely foolish, and the synonym is silly. So silly. But complacently or inanely foolish. So it's like if you're complacently foolish, is it like, oh, I'm just so foolish. I'm just complacent about how foolish I am. I can't deal with it. I don't know. Fatuous. I feel like I've heard this one, but I don't know if I would have known what it meant. We have an example, a fatuous remark. Oh, that remark is so silly. It's so fatuous. Ha 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 ha. A synonym is the word simple, and I think that connects to what we saw in the previous word, imbecility, dementia, simple. I very much feel like this is me. I am a fatuous fatuity. Fatuously is an adverb, and fatuousness is a noun. Let's see. Yeah, so these are related. I'm sure this has the same etymology as fatuity. Fatuity came from fatuous. Are there any other similar words that are connected to simpleness, stupidness, foolishness, all those things? I don't know. Maybe a couple of episodes ago, which I have skipped, or two of those I have skipped, so maybe there's something in there. We'll find out. But in the meantime, we only have a few more words, a few more FAT words, and then we move on to a new section. Fatwa. That's what we got next. Fatwa. You could say fatwa or fatwa, I guess. Fatwa. Yeah. Fatwa. This is a noun from circa 1889. It is a legal opinion or decree handed down by an Islamic religious leader. Opinion seems a little bit different than a decree, but there must be a definition for opinion that is similar to a decree. It's basically somebody saying, this is what I want to happen. Please go do this now. That is my fatwa. If it's an opinion, the way that I think of opinion is more like, this is what I like, what I would like this thing to happen, but that's just my opinion. What's your opinion? What do you think? Let's have a conversation about it. Opinion is different than decree, but clearly there must be something. They're related enough, I guess. And so I feel it's an Arabic word, not an English word, but we have it in English because we're like, well, that's your word for it, so we're going to respect it and keep on using that. I feel like there were a lot of jokes, a lot of probably not nice jokes using the word fatwa and maybe other things, especially around like the first, well, I guess probably both of the Middle East wars, and I mean, I think there's always something going on there. So yeah, I that's sort of my main connection to that word is like hearing people make silly jokes about it, and I'm not sure how nice or respectful they were. I couldn't come up with one of them. No. Was it mentioned in Team America? Possibly. I can't remember. Yes, I want to take nap. Next is fat-witted. 2 words with a hyphen. Adjective from 1596. The synonyms are stupid and idiotic. Okay, so with this one especially, I'm not so sure about fatuity or fatuous, but with this one for sure, there is a direct correlation to somebody who is large, overweight, and stupid. This is what they're saying. If somebody is large, they're saying that somebody is stupid. And clearly this is the most ridiculous comment, the most ridiculous statement that you can make. This is just people being mean, and I don't like it. And 1596 things were different, but I would like to think that largely as a society we have grown past stupid remarks like this. Clearly not everybody has changed, but little by little, hopefully. Fat-witted. This is such a ridiculous statement. Okay, next. Fat wood. One word. Yes, it's the word fat and then the word wood like a tree. Noun from 1904. It's chiefly southern, and the synonym is lightwood. And I don't know what lightwood is, so I don't know what fatwood is. No clue. No clue. Okay, that was the last F-A-T word. Now we're going to faubourg. Ooh, faubourg. F-A-U-B-O-U-R-G. This looks French. It's a noun from the 15th century. Number 1. The synonym is suburb. Just a town near a city. But especially a suburb of a French city. That makes sense. I'm sure that there are faubourgs around Paris, and I haven't been to any of them. I've been to Paris. In fact, I'm going to Paris in 3 days from when I'm recording this, and maybe we will go to a faubourg. Number 2, a city quarter. So a section of a city can also be called a faubourg. That is not a suburb. I think of a suburb as outside of the city, but this is, you can also be inside of the city and still be called a faubourg. This word is from Middle French faubourg, spelled with an X. Alternative of Faubourg, which is from Old French faubourg, which is from for, F-O-R-S, which means outside, plus bourg, B-O-R-C. Do they say bork? I don't know. That means town. So outside, a town outside of the city. It's very literal right there. Faubourg. There's more at bourg or bourge or bourg, however you want to say it. Burg. Here in the States, we have cities, little towns called burgs. I know of my parents who have a friend who's in Reedsburg in Wisconsin, and there's a whole bunch of them all over the state. So it's a town. That's what it is. Faubourg. Okay, next. Next we got fauces. Fauces? Fauces. Let's check this. Fauces. 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 F-A-U-C-E-S. It is a noun from the 15th century. It is the narrow passage from the mouth of the pharynx between the soft palate and the base of the tongue. And faucial is an adjective. The fauces, okay, this is a Latin. It's the plural, I guess the plural of it means throat or fauces. So it's in the throat. Can we read this again? The narrow passage from the mouth to the pharynx between the soft palate and the base of the tongue. I feel like this is a very small area, and I want to see a picture so I can be a little bit more descriptive, and also just so I understand this better. Images. Let's see where. Lots of when I do a yawn, you might see my fauces. Let's find a good picture. What are the fauces? Oh, there are multiple things out of the fauces? Huh? It's just says it's the narrow passage. Where's the fauces? I'm looking for you, fauces. I think it's literally is it just like the back of the throat? Come on. All I'm seeing is just big Big mouths open. Cats, humans, maybe this one's but oh, here we got a little pinpoint. A pinpoint. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's literally just right below the base of the tongue. Is that right? This is too much. Hello, mouth. Ah, there, you saw my fauces. All right, that's good enough. Good enough for me. It's just back there. It's back there. Ah. Ah. Next is faucet, or some people say faucet. It is a noun from the 15th century, a fixture for drawing or regulating the flow of liquid, especially from a pipe. Not a smoking pipe. This is a pipe in the walls of your house and building. The water goes through the pipe, and then the faucet is like lots of water, little water, lots of water, little water, lots of water, little water, blue, blue, blue. This word, it's a Middle English word, and it means bung or faucet. From Middle French, fausser, which means bung. Perhaps from fausser, which means to damage. That's interesting. Also from the Lower Latin falsare, which means to falsify. From Latin falsus, which means false. And I don't understand why false has anything to do with a faucet. When the water's on, is it true? And it's turned off, it's false? This one, that seems odd. Not sure how that's connected at all. Faucet. I don't know. I do have opinions. Every time I go to a bathroom, a public bathroom, like in a building, a restaurant, whatever it is, I have very strong opinions about how good and bad things are in the bathroom, with the faucet, with paper towels and the soap dispensers. And, there's a lot of automatic faucets now, which is fantastic. But some of them are too sensitive. Some of them aren't sensitive enough. Some of them, the water stops too quickly, or maybe it runs too long. I have lots of opinions. So I could talk about that for a while. If I want to do reviews of bathrooms, because I have thoughts about every one that I go into. Some of them get it right. Some of them don't get it right so much. Don't have the water run too long. Make sure it's sensitive for all skin colors. Get more anti-touch, no-touch, automatic things. That would be great. Yeah. Opinions about faucets and decrees. Maybe I should put a fatwa to make sure that everybody has proper faucets. The last word is, I don't know how to say this. Okay, I'm just going to say it. It does say, it is often read as faugh. The word is spelled F-A-U-G-H, but it also says, in the pronunciation, the first thing it says is a strong P sound or lip trill. P. Brr, brr, what is this? And it is often read as faugh. It's an interjection from 1542, and it is used to express contempt, disgust, or abhorrence. And I just feel like this came from or preceded the word fuck, F-U-C-K. Because it seems way too closely related. A little spelling. The pronunciation is way too close. And its usage seems way too close to it to not be true. But I'm super confused about this whole thing about a strong P sound or lip trill. If you have any additional information about that, maybe I should look up how pronounce F-A-U-G-H. Fa? That doesn't seem right. How to say, I want to find something with like a little bit more information. Let's just try this one. And let's turn up this speaker. And what does this say?
faugh.
Faugh. It's not a k. It's not a g. It's a faugh. Okay, I guess that's the word. That's that word. Today we had lots of fun words. We had fatshedera, fatso, fatstock, fat-tailed sheep, fatten, fattish, fat Tuesday, fatty, fatty, fatty acid, fatty liver, fatuity, fatuous, fatwa, fat-witted, fat wood, faugh, fossies, faucet, and faugh. Well, which one is he going to pick? I think I'm going to pick fatuous. Fatuous. Uous. Yes, those are the right letters. Because I like to be fatuous. I'm so silly all the time. I'm not really fatuous all the time, but I want to be more fatuous. That's it. That's great. That's fine. Those were all the words today, and now I'm going to tell you about another movie that I watched, which is Secret Headquarters. I watched this on a plane. It just looked sort of silly and fun. I didn't watch a trailer or anything. I saw that it had Owen Wilson in it, and it focuses around kids who find a superhero secret headquarters, and that's really what it's all focused around. And then there's some bad guys, and they got to stop the bad guys. And it was actually pretty fun, and I had never heard of it before. I feel like maybe it never got a theater run. Definitely more for kids, but I appreciate the kid stuff because I'm fatuous. And Owen Wilson is in it. That's not a small name by any means. And also somebody that I kind of went to high school with was also in it. And I have to look up the name because I will screw up her name, but she has become very big on Broadway. And her older siblings, I think, were a year behind me. And so she might have been like a freshman when I was a senior. So we didn't like know each other, but it was like, oh yeah, she's big deal. Jessie Mueller, that's the name that I was looking for. I wanted to make sure that I got that right. And yeah, she was great. She had a bigger role than you first think. Maybe it was good, and the kids were great. I think a couple of them I recognized from other stuff. And yeah, it's just a silly, fun movie with some heart, which I like. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for checking out this show on the podcast places and on the YouTube. Go do all of those things all the time. Share, subscribe, write a review, comment, blah, 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 blah. This has been Spencer. Oh, and join the Patreon for $1 a month. Right now, there's 8 episodes up there, and I recorded a whole bunch, so hopefully I can get some more up soon. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.